G'day everyone, welcome to my channel Brushes with Beck, where you can see all sorts of art-related videos. Today's video is a time-lapse of me drawing this cute little cat. I am using Canson Mi-teintes, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Canson Mi-teintes paper. I'm using the reverse side of the paper, so it's not as textured, but it's still got some grit to it. I'm also using Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils and some Prismacolor Premier coloured pencils. So as I said, I'm drawing a cat. This is only a very small piece. The paper I have cut, so it's only about 7 by 10 centimetres. Terribly sorry, I don't know what that is in inches. I'll look it up and hopefully pop it on the screen for the video. So as you can see, I am working on the eyes here, and I'm spending quite a bit of time layering in a lot of different colours in the eyes, because they are not just green, they are assorted greens and browns and all that kind of thing. I will quickly mention what you saw me do at the start was I actually was using a pen lid because I don't have an embossing tool. I was embossing the paper a bit to maintain a lighter layer for the colour of the whiskers. I realised I didn't need to do this because the paper itself is quite textured. I was able to use that texture to my advantage at the end after I'd finished colouring the cat, and the white for the whiskers still went over the other colours. So I did just emboss the whiskers, but I didn't end up needing to do it. I could have just gone straight in with a white pencil, because I also realised that embossing the whiskers on a toned paper, you don't get a pale whisker anyway, obviously. I thought the paper would be pale enough, or I might be able to push the white pencil into that embossed area, but I should have just used a white pencil straight off, or just left it and gone in with the white pencil at the end, as you'll see me do at the end of this video. Now I'm just working on laying in some base colours on the side of the face here. The left side of the cat is in shadow, quite a bit of shadow. So I'm just laying in some green of all colours on this orange tabby, but the green is really quite noticeable in my reference photo, and really adds to the depth of that shadowed area. So I'm just putting that in lightly and then blending it out with a cotton bud so that it doesn't interfere too much with the colours that I'm laying over the top, but you still get that tone from underneath. So I'm just slowly building up those layers, working around that left eye, adding in different tones of oranges and yellows and light browns, just to give it a really strong, deep look to the colour. Also because I don't have very many colours. If you haven't watched any of my videos prior to this one, you won't know. I only have a set of 12 Faber-Castell Polychromos and 24 Prismacolor Premier, and I don't use all of the Prismacolors because I don't use the non-light fast pencils. So the only colour I have close to cream is a peach colour. Otherwise I have whites and yellows and browns and oranges. I don't have no creams, no greys, none of that. So it's quite challenging to get some of the colours that I need. So I layer a lot of colours and I just try things out. This piece is me trying out techniques, trying out this paper a bit more, practicing working out what I can and can't achieve with those limited colours. So it's experimentation, and that's how I learn in art, is I say to myself, I wonder if this is going to work. So I try it, and I work it all the way through, and then I find out in the end if it worked or not. And that's one way that I really love to learn with art, is it's not just about creating art, it's about discovering. And that's the really fun part of it, is you never quite know if a piece is, well, for me, trying out new papers, having a limited colour range, I never quite know if something's going to work out until I get to the end. Now you can see at the top of the head there, I've used a lot more orange as opposed to dark brown for those tabby markings, and that's because that top of the head there is starting to get more into the light and away from the shadowed side of the face. So I'm trying to imply brighter and more vibrant colours there. Just working on that second ear. So what I've done for the ear is added in the white areas first, quite strongly, quite sort of really pressing quite hard, putting those white hairs in, and then I can fill the other areas around those white hairs and glaze over them without too much risk of dampening that bright whiteness at all. And that actually worked out quite well. And just working over the top of the head there, getting in those more vibrant colours and the lighter colours. Adding a bit more shadow for contrast. So you can see I was using just the core of the pencil there without the pencil itself. My goldenrod colour in the Prismacolor pencils is very short, and the lead keeps breaking because Prismacolors, and I didn't want to waste too much of the pencil by constantly sharpening it. So for areas where I didn't need much precision and I was just trying to get some colour down, I was just using the core of that pencil by hand. And I'm really going in with a lot of white in these bright areas because, as I said, I don't have any creams or anything like that. I've just got the yellows and whites and browns, and so really anything that's lightly coloured, I have to sort of get some base colours down underneath, but then really strongly go over with the white over the top, just to really bring it out. And I think it worked out okay. As you can see, I'm done with the head. There's a nice shadow on the left-hand side and a brighter on the right-hand side. And just mapping in some guide areas for the chest of the cat, mapping in where I see really dark shadowed areas and parts in the fur and some bright patches before I really start to work in that colour. I found mapping out those patches makes life so much easier before you really go in too strongly. And you don't have to go in very hard to map out those colours, just a light covering that you can easily go over later if you determine that it's in the wrong spot. And it wouldn't be very noticeable. And just layering and layering, using different colours for shadows and highlights. There's that peach colour from Prismacolor that's such a useful pencil in this piece. Just slowly building up the depth of colour and really trying to achieve that fur texture and the direction of the fur. Getting the direction of the fur important is so crucial to having it look accurate. And I absolutely love cats, but I think this is actually the first time I've actually drawn a cat portrait in a realistic style. I've drawn plenty of cartoon cats, plenty of cats in other ways, a lot of lions and that kind of thing, but in terms of domestic cats, I think this is the first time I've ever drawn a realistic portrait of one, and I am actually really pleased with the result, and I love it. This cat was actually a stray cat. I spent some time in Florida, in the USA, quite a few years ago, and where I was staying, this little stray cat, we befriended him. We nicknamed him Jack, and fed him some food a couple of times, and it was a very sweet little cat. So I found this photo of him on my hard drive, and I thought I just had to draw him. Perfect opportunity to practice. And once again, using that white for the lighter fur colour over the top of the yellows and the goldens and all that sort of thing. And then just glazing some yellow over the top as well. Even after I've done those final strokes of fur, I can glaze colour lightly over the top to deepen shadows and alter tones slightly. Just adding a few touches here and there, refining some colours and shadowed areas, glazing that green over the top, like I said. So I actually really enjoyed this process, and it didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to, probably because it's quite a small piece. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually very pleased with how it turned out. So I'm looking forward to challenging myself with some other cats. As you can see, the white of the whiskers goes over that quite easily because of the texture of the paper. Oh, and there's my cat. That's Jasper, walking over the top. So I might, like I said, I might try and do some other cats because I would love to do portraits of my own cats, but I just wanted to practice some more first. And there's the final piece. Thank you once again for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Please leave a comment below, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. If you would like to follow me on social media, I am on Instagram. That's where I am most active. But you can see my art on Instagram first before the videos come onto YouTube because I tend to finish it and be impatient about posting it, so I just upload it straight onto Instagram, and then I still have a couple of weeks before I edit the video and get it onto YouTube. So follow me there. I'm also on Facebook. On both Instagram and Facebook, you will find me at Brushes with Beck, the same as I am here on YouTube. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next week for another art video. Bye!